how we see the Sankrantri, where it marks the sun's northward turn of Uttarayana, a celestial symbol for our own need. Basically, we need to ensure the material entanglement should be turned out to be a spiritual awakening. That's our lens which we will be wearing. Okay? And also we need to see how this change, and this comes at a certain time fixed each year. It doesn't follow this follows the calendar. Okay, so when sun moves from darkness to the light, we move from the shadow, and where we have many false shelters. So we will be going over those shelters as well within this for the next 45 minutes to 1 hour. Okay, how we will be clearing the light towards the authentic spiritual progress. Okay. Now, I would like to ask the question where it leads to. My topic here is, are you truly happy? Okay. When we say, how do you doing? How do you do? Right? We say normally I am good. Right? So, are we really good? What that good means, I tend to say that like it's a big thing what you ask, like it's all perspective. So from the spiritual aspect of it, we do need to see ourselves to be happy, and that should be a vibrant influence to other devotees to have the same aspect of it. Okay, so we will be diagnosing very detailedly. I would go towards right from this first chapter Bhagavatam, where the Canto 1, first chapter, second verse, Dharma projita kairava paramo nirmasranam satam vastavam vastu vedyam atra. This atra is this, at this point, where we are, Prabhupada is clearly given, we are completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated. I would like to highlight that materially motivated. So we will be dwelling more into this. So have this flow. This, where the Bhagavatam propounds the highest truth, understandable by those devotees who are free from envy and hypocrisy. So that is a big word, the free from envy and hypocrisy. What is envy and what is hypocrisy? Will anyone, if you ask, oh, do you have hypocrisy? It is not to be seen. It is a subtle thing. We will never know. All the envy. Oh, I don't envy Prabhu. I don't envy Mataji. Right? So it is the kind of subtly we will be, each individual we will have at a certain percentage. So we need to see how to identify that and how to get rid of it in this auspicious thing. They also, Prabhupada is clear from the purport, he clearly called out, heart appears empty despite material fullness. So that is when we have this heart occupied with all anarthas, there is no room for the purity. So whole purpose for our existence here in this material world is to have a direction towards the purity of ourselves. Okay? How to move towards that. So I would like to keep a profound analogy which was given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He compared a soul to a shell, like a seashell, what you have. The seashell, when it is within the bottom of the ocean, that's where it belongs to, right? For whatever reason, if that seashell is flown away to the shore or to the land, it carries the water within the water which carries within the seashell. That's what we are. If you, it's, I don't know if you can see this. So ocean is a spiritual reality for us. That's what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has clearly identified, where it is referred as a chit. The seashell itself is the jiva. Okay? Natural habitants, where it is we belong to, is the ocean floor. That is the Vrindavana, where it is the eternal spiritual particle what we have. When any storm comes, all the vibrations what we have. So when it is trapped inside the water, that's what basically the water trapped inside the conch shell. The Swarupa Smarana, all the remembrance, it only remembers the Satchitananda, the Sat, Chit and Ananda. Sat is longing for the permanence. The city is the search for the knowledge, where it belongs to. Ananda's quest for it. So it is very usual or normal we'll see those shells, but the way Vishwanath Chakravarti has captured is in these two lines. You are not dissatisfied because you are greedy. Right? What he meant there is every individual soul, take it or not, they will be dissatisfied at each instance of our lives, whether it is Kaumaram or your youth or your middle age or the old age. Right? Every day, even though you give everything, you will be showing the dissatisfaction. So that is not the case. What he says is your dissatisfaction is because you are divine. As we were belong to that ocean, as conch shell was belong to that ocean, as we belong to Goloka, as we are here, that is the real dissatisfaction. We never know. That is very subtle. Okay. We will also go towards the second chapter, 17th verse. Shinavatam Svatkata Krishna Punyashravana Kirtana Hridiyantasto Abhadrani Vidunoti Satam. Where we have the clear distinction what changes, right? Krishna Vishayaka Katha, topics having Krishna as the object, as an object. See here very clearly, it is only the philosophy or theory or information that does not satisfy the soul. What it satisfies is Krishna Swarupa Katha, topics that are Krishna's very form. That is, which is captured very clearly in Purana, that is the Bhagavatam. Within the same verse, the Abhadrani, where it is the all inauspicious things. We call it as there are several bondages where we do have karma bandhana, the past actions what we have, what we went through, whatever chit we have. Like for example, if you ask any old person, like little aged person, what are the actions, what is your reaction to how happy you are? He says, so and so you will have a big list, the bucket list what we called, right? So yeah, I wanted to do this, I want to do that, but it is all karma bandhana. And also the jnana bandhana, where the false knowledge is there. So we will be tending towards that knowledge which is false. Everything other than Krishna is the false. Okay? The vasana bandhana, which is having the lusty desires. The lust doesn't mean only the kama. The kama doesn't mean only the sex. So we'll be dwelling into that as well. And another major point in this verse, what we can take away is Surat Satam, well-wisher of the righteous. We need to digest the active benefactor with a good heart for eternal devotees. We need to see how to align. Suhrit means the aligning with the what Krishna pleases, what Krishna wants. At each incident or whatever we do as a devotee, how do we please Krishna? That is the alignment which we have to have. Prabhupada also gave little two stories. I didn't capture which day it was. This is similar. He referred to this as a man's mirror was basically a man who is able to clean the mirror, which was 50-year-old, which with all dust, right? So if he has been given with the cloth, water and soap, that's what we need. Yesterday I was cleaning my kitchen at home. So will that only help that out? So if it is that old, it needs a lot of layers will be there, and it should be dried up, or the sun should be given. So sun is the days in sunlight which will be helping to loosen the dust. Prabhupada said, push, it will be clean, right? So Krishna is the sun. We are the mirror with layers of dust, with all the anarthas within this life or in the past life. Our own efforts are the cloth and water, what we do. It is nothing we cannot do without the help of sun. So sun, without the sun rays, we cannot do anything. With our own efforts, nothing can be moved. That is the same represented as the nothing can be moved without the Krishna's mercy. The second story which Prabhupada has given is when Prabhupada asked a devotee, if Krishna is in your heart, seeing everything, why do sinful things? So the devotee replied or answered, he forgot he's there. Basically, he forgot that Krishna is there. So he corrected, no, you know he's there. You think he's my friend, he'll forgive me. So this is also very subtle. Reading once is not, try to digest this. So we need to digest that he is my friend in all circumstances. That is the real surrender. Even surrender part we will be going over in a bit. Okay? Now we have this complete cycle of this suffering. As a jiva, if we are here, I am here, you are here, we do have we have done many, whether it is called the mistakes or about your karma, we are here. So the condition is where if it is the empty heart, where it is called as a shunya hridaya, it seeks fulfillment in that matter. Every time it seeks something or the other. Temporary contact gives the false promises, which is bahi sparsha. Every jiva, a soul, has all like an increased thirst, which is also called as a trishna, where references the ocean being got only like a drop of it. Every time we do long for having one more drop. So that's what he meant. And heart will be calling out very cautiously, and there must be more. So the Krishna, where he has to respond for a calling of a devotee or a jiva or a soul. And why? Because Surat, as we discussed just now, the Surat, one whose heart is aligned with yours. The alignment, every time, each time we need to ensure that we can align to how Krishna is pleasing. So the one thing we need to see is anyone in this room, you can say that you are completely satisfied with any of your relations, whether it is with your boss, that is your wife, or your work boss, or your any success you have, or you lost any purchases of your family like houses or cars or anything. So nothing we will be getting. So if our hearts are designed for ocean, but we are drinking drops right now, why do we keep pretending that drops are enough? So the definition of that drop is the key. So you need to really see, are you satisfied with this drop, or we are moving towards that ocean? Whether we'll be getting in this life or next, it all depends on how you respond to it. Okay. This the Trishna, where it is longing, there is the verse, the Trishna naivoparameta chittam naivashtithe shunya vridayasha bahi sparshan manasyaivasha, where the thirst of one whose heart has become empty never dries up. The mind of such a person cannot find satisfaction, and he will not be being agitated by external sense contacts and mental creations. Basically, if you see, I do not want to call out, I just gave this as a reference here. Our mind will be fickle all the time. You chant, even that is our very auspicious time in the mornings. We did have the retreat last week with, not last, 2-3 weeks back with Rompad Maharaj. So we are used to it through the distractions. Distractions is another big topic, where the distraction can be your own phone. That's what I captured here, where even if a notification comes, we are tend to see that. Oh, notification, Hare Krishna, right? And if you see while chanting or you doing anything, you are doing a DT service, you are doing arti, if someone is singing or not, some kind of a distraction will be there. You are dancing, just now you danced. Who is seeing will be having in this subtle mind. So same thing as the career. What we have every time, the career side, oh, I finished, year-end finished, now is the time for bonus or raise or way to go. So, or even any relationships, expectations. Expectations, I call wife as a boss. So my boss is what she wants, right? If you align, or your son, oh, I expect my son to go to so-and-so Ivy League. I want my son to do that, or my daughter to do that, or so these relations are never ever complete. So Krishna is listening to us, he's waiting. So he's just waiting. What are you chanting? What are you thinking? So he also he has seen all the times in a childhood, like right now, just now Madhav has wonderfully sang Narsimarti, right? So the conscious he carries at this time, or what Krishna is thinking, it will be different when again he grows another 5 years, look at it, it will be different. So Krishna is just waiting when this jiva or the soul will be aligning to his expectation or to come back. Towards that, now actually the class starts here. I gave some background context till now, okay? So I captured as 4 different limbs or the categories where we will be addressing. Initially we said we are diagnosing why are we truly happy, right? We say we show those faces, different faces. I am here for one thing, for my family, for my career, the boss at work, at the temple something, friends something. So that is hypocrisy. It is unknown. Hypocrisy, do not take that as a very bad word. It is, each one of us in this material world does have hypocrisy. Okay? So why we keep saying I'm happy when we are not? Try to meditate on this. It is, and how that pretense deepens our suffering. If you get to that one little thing, we will be moving forward and we'll dwell more into the hypocrisy. And we will have also the false shelters. Having shelter is one thing, true shelter is one thing, the false shelter, where we've been seeking satisfaction either in the careers or the relationships, and also we validate it. All the time we validate. Oh, I did cook yesterday at home some Italian food. Oh, did it good, come good? That's a validation. I did help out in the altar. Oh, is everyone seeing? And so that is validation. So each and every incident or what you do, we try to see as a false shelter. And again, this is a very subtle thing. False shelter. Rumpad Maharaj says, what is it for me and what is it for Krishna? Two-pocket program. So at the same time, you'll have these false shelters even with our kids. No, even with our own parents, we do that. So we'll dwell into that as well. Sorry. The mirror. So with that, we will move towards the mirror, what our heart really is and why is it dirty. Kaisa saaf karna hai yaar? It is बहुत मैला हो गया. It's too much of dirt, right? So purity, as my Guru Maharaj says, the only thing which any soul should be striving for is the purity. How much pure you are, easily the other person who you are living or who you are interacting with can see your purity very clearly. Right? We'll also see how to cleanse it, how Bhagavatam and the scriptures help us diagnose and also have authentic shelter, not the false shelters, but we'll strive towards getting there. Oh, I didn't use that, sorry. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so the very first one is hypocrisy. As I said, we tend to have one face or mask you call, or two, three, several. I can guarantee any person, any soul, we will be having several masks. So as said in Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 14th chapter, 58, Ya shariram mamatsvaina manyate hammameti cha saramrityu samsara vatimani aste vandan shariranam. Two major things. Mamatvena. What is it for me? Mere ko kya yaar? What do I need? What is mine things? And aham mameti. I am this. It's mine. Everything is mine. Go to prasadam. I'm a senior devotee. I need prasadam right up front there. Get out of the line, please, all the juniors. This is my temple. So this aham mameti is deeply rooted in our subtle mind. So even identification is the key there. How to identify that aham mameti part. So this is the major foundation of material hypocrisy. Taking shelter in what cannot shelter us. Is this why we are come into this world? We need to understand that. We claim by body or by mind or by life. So we need to come out of all of this. Okay. Now, how to identify this? Believe it or not, a lot of work has been done in these since the past 24 hours. Same thing, I'm following my Guru Maharaja's direction, and also thank you for Madhupati Prabhu to involve this. This was a deep analysis which we have done. Now this false shelters is basically the empty hearts, the types of suffering we all heard many times: Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, and Adidaivika, sorry. So, Adhyatmika, where within ourselves, suffering from identifying the non-self, that is the body and mind. How do we do that? All the time. I have my back problem. I have my foot problem. That anxiety. Anxiety is good. In Bhagavatam 6th canto, we say as self-preservation. We need to do self-preserve. But where does that line ends? Going into the mud bath, or so many things are there, like which we are feeding it indirectly. The Adi Bhautika, where we are suffering from other living beings or other things. Now we are all, you call it as a victim, or we are the victory, right? All these days we had our phones, and now we passed on to our next generation where they cannot talk without phones. So, and also which leads to many other issues like betrayals or anything, name it, which is a dependent on others. The Adi Daivik, where we do not have any control. Few things are there, the climate anxiety and all. So these are the classified in Bhagavatam, it clearly says as a 4 defects: Brahma, Pramada, Vipralipsa, Karanapatava. So what is Brahma? Brahma is optical illusion, where it is like mistaking rope for the snake. This is a classic analogy what Prabhupada has given. Many other things we can refer here as well. Few, initially I couldn't digest why rope and snake analogy was given. Basically, we think a rope, we see as a rope and we think as a snake. The same way, like I was meditating on this. When we go to airport, let us say, right, or a lounge, I don't know, wherever you are, we think that this is ours, but that is not the right place where we have. And also the very subtle thing is when we go home, it is my home. Oh, I have a big palace here. It is my home. No. If you align and think that wherever you are staying is Krishna's place. So that's the subtle thing. So we are unreliable narrators of our own lives. Please do understand this is very thoughtfully I wrote this, okay? The Mayas, the other, where the false shelter system, the Mayas will come in. Our good friend Maya, we call it as a government. We named it as a Maya's government, okay? So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he had this defined for this Maya's government. He named it, and it is a pick from his what his teachings were. Basically, he called as Karnadhara, where sense gratifications bureau, Vishayataranga, where it is material achievement authority, or Vipralamba, frustration management. So, so now you see, Karnadhara, basically it is a Kama. I was just talking about Kama is lust. It doesn't mean only the sexual activities. Kama is what you want. I deserve it, Baba. I deserve everything. I deserve respect. If I not been called. So, the other things which I gave some references, watching Netflix for which is not aligned, hopefully, and every day both thak gaya yaar main raat mein. Let me see out my reels, YouTube reels, or sports, what's happening in today's world. All this is karma. If you have that alignment with how does it pleasing Krishna is the key. That's what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is trying to portray that. The second, Vishayataranga, which is Ahankara. I am what I achieve. I did work 20 hours out of 24 hours, 18 hours, 16 hours. I need this bonus. So the kind of I belong to, I need it, I did achieve this. When you say I achieve, there itself it is a problem. That is Ahankara. The Moha. Moha is, all of you know, where you are attracted to. Below I gave the employment contract kind of a thing. While I was meditating on this, if you see, there are three things. One, in childhood, we will be running over the education to my dad wants Ivy League, or in India we used to do IIT and all, or doctor, going behind education. Then soon after marriage is the career. Then the third phase is mera beta dekh raha hai nahi dekh raha, bahu dekh rahi hai nahi dekh rahi, right? So that those are the only three things, all the time chasing. So when are we spending time for actual stuff? So in Bhagavatam, there is a beautiful story. I don't know if anyone has insights to Yayati, King Yayati. So he had a son who's youth, very young, and he was more realized, his son. So he wanted to have youth from his son. So those were the days, not even AIs, they were like million times greater than AI world during those old days, right? So he requested his son to have that youth, and with wholeheartedly, Yati's son has given that. So what did he do? He had 1,000 years. He had 1,000 different wives, palaces, conquest of all kingdoms. Name it, he had it. But what did the result after that 1,000 years? So, na jatu kamaha kamanam upabhogena samyati. Havisha Krishnavatmena bhuya eva bhivartate. Desire is never satisfied by enjoying sense objects. Like fire fed with ghee, it only blazes more freely or fiercely, sorry. So also Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given this wonderful formula where each satisfied desire, it will result into 2. So why we have to go through this yayati business? I'm not saying not to do what you have to do. I do whatever I have to do. I'm not leaving my job. I am doing whatever I have to do for my family. But at the same time, if you align with Krishna, if Krishna is pleased, so this is a transition to the mirror of the heart. So until now, I try to put what kind of hypocrisy we have, what kind of false shelters we have. False shelters we'll go over. But we'll also see how to diagnose our own heart. Basically, the heart, which is Hridaya, operates like a mirror. It is clean, plus facing Krishna is clear reflection of Satchidananda. If it is dirty or facing away, which is completely distorted, like our Lakshmi is distorted right now. So, 2 spiritual directions, what has been captured? Bhagavad Abhimukha, which is facing Krishna. Bhagavad Vimukha, which is away. So in the mirror example or the analogy, what we have seen, all these 5, Lobha, that is greed, Krodha, anger, Moha, illusion, Mada, Matsarva, envy. So all this have to ensure we need to spot that envy makes the mirror prefer comparing reflections over seeing the source. So this is also a statement, I don't know if it is a rightly formulated, but I would structured, but I would like to put a stress on this. Every spot of what we have among these 5, if we are able to see within ourselves as a reflection. In Bhagavad Gita, we also see 2.13, Denosmin yathadeye kamaram yavanam jara tatha dehantara prapter dhirastatranam huyati. So, where the soul passes through childhood, youth and old age, what we have talked, it similarly attains another body. If we digest that one simple point where this is own, as Prabhupada also said, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, this is like a change of shirts, the change of bodies, right? He calls it as, it's a madness if we call this, this silk shirt is me, this torn shirt is me. Or if it is a sanity where I am the wearer, these are just the shirts. So if we get to that, which is I am not the body, where I am only the Krishna's servant. And that is, we call it very easily in our Krishna conscious here, but understanding and digesting is very critical. And that comes with only the sadhana. Now that sadhana, how we do it? We recently had 64 round, I don't know how many have attended, the cleansing the hearts and also cleansing the mind. I tried to put in a little bit relevant picture following my Guru Maharaj's view. So in Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 2nd chapter 19, Tada Rajastamo Bhava Kama Lobhadayas Chaye Cheta etair anavidatam sitam sattve prasiddhati. Here, anavidham, which is the key word here. The consciousness as a pin cushion of desires. I would like you, everyone, to really digest this. The consciousness one carry, we try to put the, as we in our DT Seva, we use a pin cushion. That's the reason I got this. So you see the DTs there, right? All the pins what we put, we use a pin cushion. Okay, see all the pins. So I was meditating on this. The consciousness as we use that pin cushion with the desires. You see the point? So when consciousness is unpierced by passion, ignorance, lust and greed, it becomes established in purity. And again, this is to my Guru Maharajas or every soul's stress or longing to become pure. Frankly speaking, each individual wants to become pure. No one will come say that, oh, I want to be impure. It is all subtle level. So how to identify that consciousness? We should be unpiercing those pins. I was looking at that cushion ball. Okay. So that's cleansing from hypocrisy to authentic shelter, where we do see the hearing, chanting, association, prasadam, obviously, and the serving, where Shravanam, Nama Sankirtana, Sadhu Sangha, Prasada Seva, and Seva. These are the key things. I do not want to go to the analogies here. Looks like the time will be an issue. So I would like to go the authentic, how to go with the complete surrender. We call it as I am surrendered to you, Prabhu will say, or Mataji. So I didn't offer my obeisances to you, but it doesn't mean that I don't carry it here. Technically we need to do, we should do, but at the pure surrender, how we will be doing, what does it mean? So it has the 6 limbs, where in the Haribhakta Vilas, it says, Anukulasya sankalpaha pratikulasya varjanam rakshishyati vishwaso gopitvate varnam tatha atma nikshepa karpanye sadavida sharanagatihi. So Ankulasya sankalpaha, accepting what's favorable. Again, these are very, very critical. This is the heart of this lecture here. Please try to get to this. Any activity what we are doing, does this increase my Krishna consciousness? Krishna consciousness. What other devotees thinking, what my wife is thinking, what my husband is thinking, kids are thinking, no. Pratikulasya varjanam, rejecting what's unfavorable. Renunciation. And are we truly renouncing? We'll say, if we work during the day, including me, we need some kind of a let out. Arey score kya hua yaar, like, or YouTube, when we see nowadays, it's a beautiful or worse thing, I don't know, beautiful if you see spiritually, the reels thing. Even if you see or hear our own Guru Maharaj lectures, just below that you will be having those. So it all depends on, even if you see, I'm not asking you not to see, right? It all depends on your consciousness, how you carry it. Rakshishyati Vishwasaha. Basically, it's a faith. He will protect. Can you sleep peacefully knowing he is on duty? Like I was thinking about the other analogy where we had several accidents in airplane accidents, right? India especially, that Air India one. But it is subtle level. We don't even think when we board onto the plane, we are surrendered to that pilot there, fully surrendered. So why can't we do this here in temple, fully surrendered to Madhupati Prabhu and Krishna? That's it. Whatever he says, whatever Krishna, representative. Follow. Same thing at your house. Think that your boss, your wife is your boss. Whatever she says, go ahead with it. Same thing for the husband. Life will be good. And again, see how you are aligning. Okay, aligning to Krishna. Gopitrave Varanam, choosing him as guardian, electing a bodyguard against birth, death or disease. That's what the practice I've given. How you, again conscious. Atma Nikshepa, it is self-surrender. Self-surrender is like depositing anxieties, like how you put money or cash in your bank. Put your anxieties. My son did not get a job, or I need my daughter to be married. Put all those anxieties. If you put everything into the hands of Krishna, whatever you think will be going on with him. So, you see, and also Krishna will be pleased. Every act or every thought you do, it is aligned to him. Last is the Karpanyam, humility, awareness of the need. You need to have that kind of a practice of I cannot do without you. And our Guru Maharaj also says respect. That is, respect is the fabric of any relation. Again, this is very subtle, okay? So both are interrelated here. If you have this, I cannot do without you, whether it is, first thing is Krishna, everything is, if it is aligned to him, then it is perfect. Same thing, go back to your home front as well. Anything, you give that respect to each one of it, whether it is wife, any relation, you see the response. So there's other story in Bhagavatam which I would like to highlight, which is Ajamil story. I was initial days, I didn't understand. I don't even now if I fully understand this story. And this story is way high up there. Only sannyasis, all the Maharajas gave weeks lectures in Ajamil story. And what is it? It's only, Ajamil was very scholared prior. He saw a couple, that is a low, like a Shudras having some sex. That was the trigger for his downfall. And that's it. He did all cheating, stealing, and he had like 9 sons. The youngest one he named as Narayana. And this is the very summary of it. And while he was on the deathbed, he just called out Narayana. And what it got, there was again in Bhagavatam, only 3 to 4 chapters there are. So how to have that immediate salvation by only the holy names. Jai Shri Shri Radha Sham Sundar ki jai. Apology, I'm a bit carried over. So I would like to go over directly onto the key lessons, what we have learned. Only 3-4 minutes, please. I got a little late. And please do sit. Especially me, I'll be a little bit not uncomfortable if anyone leaves. Please do sit for 3 minutes. So the journey from, So journey from the hypocrisy to the authentic shelter. We did have the diagnosis, the empty heart, which comes from lacking Krishna, not the things. Hypocrisy we learned, where we shelter in what cannot shelter us. The true identity, we are eternal servants. Try to digest that. Our heart is mirror designed to reflect Krishna. Cleansing process we have seen. Actually, I did skip a little bit. The hearing, chanting, association, and the prasadam. The authentic shelter, where again we have that Sharanagati which we discussed. The Ajamila story we have. We also have the progressive rasas, which I missed it. There are a few other slides which, and basically it also needs this practice. I would like to keep one major thing. Sadhana is, whether it's for a devotee or who has come from like a consistency. I would highlight this consistency, keep at top of your priorities, please. If you are a devotee, you are chanting, just chant and keep some time. Probably I'm mercy of my Guru Maharaj. I keep that as a priority. Okay. Early morning, 2 hours, it is for Krishna. Okay. Forget everything else. So, with this, I would like move to Makara Sankranti. Basically, in this week we have the Sankranti or Lori, what we call. In Andhra, I come from Andhra. Each state, as I told you before, what we do is घर का पूरा सामान जो बोलते हैं ना, like all dirt or unused things, we put it outside and clean. So my humble request, I'm coming for the first time in this audience, but I do give lectures. So a humble request, do follow to identify your hypocrisies or try to identify the anarthas. This can only be achieved with the sadhana. Okay, so from material hypocrisy, external identities, and the empty heart, I would like you to go towards authentic shelter, true identity, and the filled heart. So with this, I would like to wish all of you Makar Sankranti or Lori. Thank you very much. So apologies for a little bit over the class. If any clarifications, queries. Hare Krishna. If anyone wants this presentation, you can reach me, I'll send it out to them. As we said, please, another 1 minute. It doesn't take more than that, okay?
Hare Krishna. So let's thank Prem Keshav Prabhu aloud. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. We'd also like to thank you all for coming to this wonderful Sunday Feast program. We humbly request, please take your seats. We still have some announcements to go over. Today's Sunday Feast is sponsored by Prem Kishore Prabhu and family for Radhika's birthday. So we humbly request Radhika Mataji to come over. Also, it's also Taruni Radha Mataji's birthday and also her daughter Gandharvika's birthday, so they can also come over. For the pleasure of Sri Sri Radha Shyam Sundar, Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Sri Sri Gaunitai, Sri Panchatattva, Sri Prabhupada and all the assembled Vaishnavas. Book distribution scores from this week. 35 Mahabooks, 25 small books, 2 Srimad Bhagavatam set, Taruni Radha Mataji and Triveni Mataji. 9 small books, 1 medium book, 1 Mahabook and 1 Srimad Bhagavatam set, Param Brahma Prabhu. 16 Mahabooks, Satyabhama Mataji. 17 Mahabooks, Amritananda Prabhu. 5 Mahabooks, Simheshwar Prabhu. 2 small books, Krishna Namananda Prabhu. 1 Tamil Srimad Bhagavatam set and 1 Mahabook, Madhupati Das. So let's thank them all with a loud Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Bihar Midanga Transcendental Book Distribution Ki. Yeah. We humbly request to all the book distributors and those who are not in the names to continue in the same vigor in the coming year and distribute the mercy of Mahaprabhu to as many people as possible, as many outside congregation as possible. Another announcement, we are starting ISKCON Disciple course next 2 weekends. So if we are not taken that and would like to register, please register as early as possible so that we can figure out all the logistics. Okay. Radhika Mataji is here. All right. Haribol Mataji, you are here, right? Please come. Haribol, yeah. No, you can start and then we will have her cut the cake separately. Mataji, please cut the cake. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna to Taruni Radha Mataji. Hare Krishna to you. Okay, so let's bless them with a loud Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Some upcoming events. Coming January 30, Friday, January 30 is Nityananda Trayodasi, a very important date. Nityananda Balaram ki jai. We'll be celebrating here with a lot of festivity. In fact, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that the most important festival for us is Nityananda Tarodashi. Because we don't get the mercy of Sri Sri Radha Krishna without the mercy of Mahaprabhu. And we don't get the mercy of Mahaprabhu without the mercy of Lord Nityananda. So Srila Prabhupada in his Vigraha form also appeared in our Yatra on Nityananda Tarodashi in 2006. Also, 12th, 13th, 14th of February is Kirtan Love Fest. And we have, do you have the mic, Keshav? We have Keshav and Pati giving you some more updates.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Haribol, is everyone awake today? Haribol. Okay, so our time has finally come for KLF 2026. Who's excited? Yay! Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of a quicker presentation. I know everyone's waiting for Prashadam. So obviously, most of you should know what Kirtan Love Fest is. So it's our annual festival organized by ISKCON of Central New Jersey with over 1,000 people attending. Again, we first started in 2019, and our goal is to provide a spectacular chanting experience to our community and serve by creating a dedicated Kirtan space.